So is there a model or a type of guitar from your past that you think, that was a good guitar? I should get that back again because I sold it and I can't remember why I sold it. Is there a guitar like that in your guitar past? This video is all about one of those guitars from my guitar past. And here it is in the flesh. Look at that beautiful colour. Look how sharp that headstock is. You'll take someone's eye out with that, as my gran used to say. So this is an early 90s, 1991 I think. In fact, let's have a look at the 1991 catalogue, the Charvel Japan catalogue. This is an AR-070-SSH single humbucker. This would have cost 70,000 yen at the time, hence the 70 in the name. So I believe this to be a made in Japan exclusive, certainly from what I have read on the internet. I mean, don't believe everything you read on the internet, but you can believe some things if you do a bit of your own research, as they say. So the difference between this and the dinky Charvels at the time appears to be that this model has the pickguard, a bit like the early Charvel 3s from the sort of mid 80s. So yes, I owned a couple of Charvels way back in the day. Here's a couple of very quick pictures. But unfortunately, there's more of that later. So yes, I've owned a couple of Charvels before, but I probably sold them in the late 80s. And this is the first one I've even played since then. It arrived here from Japan a couple of weeks ago. So I had to do a couple of things to get it up and running. Not that much, really, just a clean. So let's have a look at the innards of this fine Charvel guitar. So here we have the heavy metal machine. So it's in good condition. I think there's one dent on the bottom. Just needs a good clean. The first thing I'm seeing is, it's been a long time since I had a Floyd Rose, but I do remember that you can't adjust the height of the saddles, that they come in 3 pairs. So lower ones for the outside, highest ones in the middle. But these look like somebody's taken this off, because when you look across the strings, if you can see that, strings are lower in the middle. See that? So I think, unfortunately, despite never having taken a Floyd Rose tremolo to bits in the last 40 odd years, I'm going to have to do it with this one, to take these saddles out to get the proper radius again, which is, you know, a bit of a pain in the arse. Jackson pickups are a bit low as well, but frets need a good polish, in good condition though. So I think that's the main thing. I'm going to have to do. Luckily all the stuff is here, and I have an Allen key to fit all that, and the electrics all work fine. So yeah, this is a nightmare. Taking a Floyd Rose trem to pieces. When I'm doing that, I'll take this off as well, and we'll check all the pickups, readings and stuff like that, see if there's any marks on the bottom of them to say what pickups they are. So yeah, let's go on with that. So let's take a Floyd Rose tremolo to pieces. I need to get the strings off first. So this took me quite a while. I put a block underneath the trem just to keep it up high, and that's the order that the saddles were in when I took them off. So that does not look like any sort of radius that I'm aware of. So I did have to change them so it matched the radius of the fretboard, which I think is probably 12 inches, and that's what it looked like. So I then had to put all of these back on the guitar. So I took the neck off just to see what was on it, an AR-70-10, which is the model in the catalogue, but the neck is DK-065, which is a different guitar. So I'm not sure if these all used the necks from the Dinky 065, which I think is like a Charvel Model 3 from back in the day. So it's routed for 1 humbucker, 2 single coils. Very good condition, like I've said. Routes are very neat, seems to have all the original electronics on it as well. So Jackson single coil pickups, not sure if there's any markings on those. They look like they've been in since the guitar was manufactured. And the humbucker is a J90OC with the B for bridge. Now I think C stands for ceramic. I'm not sure if I could get the exact date of these pots, but I believe it to be a 1991 guitar or 1992. So yes, there's the neck stamp, DK-065. So then I had to polish the frets. Look at the size of those frets, huge frets, and that's what they look like after I had polished them all up. Plays really, really well, and it's interesting playing a neck this slim again. It's been some time since I played a neck that slim. So there's a trem, 3 springs in the back. That's all that was in it when I arrived. So a solid trem block, claw, body, very good shape, and the Charvel serial number 360899, 91, 92 I believe that to be. So does this guitar have a rather slim neck? It does indeed have a rather slim, thin neck, but quite wide. I believe it to be a 12 or 15 inch radius. Let's look at the neck specs at the 1st fret and the 12th fret, the neck profile. It's a 25.5 inch scale, so a Fender scale. If you're used to playing Fender guitars, this will suit you just fine. So what does it sound like? 2 single coils, SSH, and a humbucker. Well, I will show you the readings in a minute, but the humbucker is considerably more powerful than these single coils. So let's hear some clean sounds. Let's hear how it does with clean. So certainly these single coils are really good clean. It's a 5-position switch, 5-way switch. So 1, 2, 3 positions are definitely very good on clean. What happens when you get to the bridge humbucker is it's such a difference in output. In fact, let's look at the measurements of these pickups. So this ceramic magnet is really pushing the bridge pickup, pushing the front of the amp. Let's hear some more overdriven sounds. With overdrive, again, these single coils have got that kind of squishy sound that you get on Fender single coils, and when you engage the bridge pickup, it is rocking. That is how I would describe it. Technically, it is rocking. So I guess maybe some metal, because let's face it, these guitars were designed for metal.
So, as I said earlier in the video, I have owned a couple of Charvel guitars back in the mid-1980s, the hair metal years. Let's have a look at them now. So black one here is a Charvel Model 5. This guitar had a set neck, 2 humbuckers and a Kahler tremolo system. This was a great guitar. The red one is a Charvel Model 4. With a bolt-on neck, a humbucker at the bridge and 2 single coils with a Floyd Rose trem. I'm not sure what it was, but this guitar did not feel as good to play as the Model 5. Not sure what's going on in this picture, but it looks like my head is falling off.
So what do I think of this guitar? It's been absolutely fantastic playing this again. You will see in the very first solo I did at the intro of this video, that was genuinely the first time I turned the camera on and started playing this, just jamming along with a track. I was just taken back to using a whammy bar way too much. I couldn't let go of my wang bar in that portion of the video, so my apologies for that. The tremolo stays perfectly in tune. It did take a little bit of time to get it all in tune, but I guess that is the very nature of these Floyd Rose tremolos. But it's been really good. It's been funny playing a guitar with this neck profile as well and these huge big frets. This is definitely a shred machine. Now I think maybe in the mid-80s when I got my Charvels, I was maybe harbouring thoughts, you know, ill-conceived thoughts as it turns out, that I could maybe get into some sort of shredding, and I never ever got into it. It's something that I don't do, so there's not really any shredding in this video. There's just my tired old blues rock licks, but it's been funny playing this again. I think I did get them originally because I wanted to get to be a real fast player. Like I was a big fan of Megadeth and stuff like that, and I never really achieved it. So I sold these guitars. I had like a Les Paul prior to owning a Charvel, and I just went back to using Les Paul guitars. I think I'm more of a traditionalist. But that said, it's been absolutely fantastic having this guitar. Well, I still have it, and just playing it, just, you know, rolling back the years. It's easy to play. It sounds great. It's light, very light. Just a great guitar, just a great shred guitar. Will I keep it? I'm 59 soon, and I think maybe you get too old for certain guitars. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, please do let me know. I mean, people like KK Downing are still playing Flying V's in his 70s, but he's a professional musician, you know. I'm not. I'm just a guy who makes videos on YouTube and plays in a covers band occasionally. So I think I'm too old for this, and I don't think I have the chops to play this. I think if I turned up on stage with this, people would be going, "Oh, brilliant, here, we're going to see the old grey beardy guy shredding," and then I'll come out and play my sort of pseudo Chuck Berry pentatonic sort of blues going on there and rock and roll. So yeah, I think I'm too old for this. And luckily I have a couple of friends who are not too old for this, but interestingly are probably the same age as me. But that shows you everybody's a little bit different. So I've got a couple of friends who said they might be interested in taking this off my hands, but I have really enjoyed playing one of these again. It's been great. So the final part of the video, as ever, apologies again, is another whittle. There's not any, you know, I'm not doing any particularly fast stuff. I'm certainly not shredding in this, but it's just to give you the sounds of this. What is a really nice guitar, I have to say. A 1990s made in Japan Charvel, an AR-070-SSH. I believe made exclusively for the Japanese market in this beautiful colour as well. As ever folks, it's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsy's Guitar World. Cheers for now.